Hello, my name is Isabel Wessler, and I am a freshman studying at Bloomsburg University, majoring in political science with a pre-law concentrate. I chose to do my presentation on how human trafficking affects the globe. I chose this topic because I believe that human trafficking is a very prominent issue all around the world that needs more awareness and more attention brought to it. I believe that more people need to truly understand what human trafficking is and how it affects so many people all over the globe horribly. In this presentation, I will be covering what human trafficking is, who it affects, and such things like that, how human trafficking affects the world, and what has been done to prevent human trafficking so far. To start, what is human trafficking? Human trafficking is when someone is manipulated or forced into doing work, physical labor, and/or sexual commercial acts for the profit of someone else. Human trafficking can be split into two different categories, with that being physical labor and commercial sexual acts, which is known as sex trafficking. Victims can be tricked to, lied to, manipulated, or physically forced, like kidnapped or tortured, and forced into the industry. The victims are genuinely really unaware of the reality of their situation. They don't know what's going to happen, if they're being lied to, if they're being forced. They have no idea. But when a minor does anything in regards to commercial sexual acts, it's considered human trafficking and sex trafficking, regardless of if there was any force used. Next, who can be a victim of human trafficking? Well, traffickers do not discriminate, and anyone can be a victim of human trafficking regardless of their age, race, gender, or anything else. But women, minorities, and children are targeted the highest. But having limited English, having an unlawful immigration status, being in poverty, or being overall troubled can increase the vulnerability to human trafficking, as it allows traffickers to make false promises such as stability, money, love, other things. It just really increases the vulnerability that human traffickers have over people. But unfortunately, there are 27.6 million people all around the world that have been human trafficked, with about 30,000 each year dying from it, which is a truly horrific number. Where does human trafficking take place? Human trafficking can take place in both legal and illegal businesses, ranging from restaurants, factories, care facilities, to illegal businesses being like the drug trade, drug producing factories, things like that. But human trafficking can also be more sexually based, and these victims can be forced to work as exotic dancers, work on the streets, work through escort services and online services, things like that. Victims may be hidden in domestic servitude while others interact with the public. Domestic servitude means that these people are not allowed to leave where they're being forced to work. They have to remain hidden, while others interact with the public and see people and work normally. Where is human trafficking the most common? Currently, the Arab states have the highest rate of human trafficking by population, but there's also a huge presence in Europe, Asia, the Pacific, Africa, and the Americas. But victims can be transported to or from any country depending on who has control of them and where their business takes place. How does human trafficking affect the world? Human trafficking is a huge human rights concern and causes fear and danger all over the world as victims face horrible treatment and torture at the hands of someone else for their profit. Victims face irreversible trauma if they are able to survive and escape the experience. What has been done to prevent human trafficking in the United States? The United States has made a great effort in hopes of stopping human trafficking. They have recently passed a 3-year plan which would include more protection for victims, harder sentencing for traffickers, and are able to prevent the industry as a whole. Many private organizations have also developed as a response to human trafficking in hopes to minimize the effect it has on citizens. What has been done to prevent human trafficking around the world? The Alliance Against Trafficking in Persons is an international board that was formed as a response to the human trafficking crisis all around the world. This board can include government, non-government, and international organizations that all come together to tackle the challenge and fight the battle of human trafficking. They develop strategies, offer support, and other helpful things to fight human trafficking and help victims get out and survive their experience. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. If you or anyone you know is in risk of human trafficking, please call 888 373 7888 or text help to be free to access the human trafficking hotline, who is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for help.